Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Cancer to Marathon. Um, we're hoping to hear so many stories from so many cancer survivors, survivors of deadly diseases, caregivers. We want to hear from them as well and hear their stories and the lessons that maybe we can take from them as we go about helping those that are fighting the fight right now, um, and also maybe just some great tips that we can pick up for our everyday lives. There are just so many things that we learn from experiences like this. But I wanted to start off and share my story. I'm going to try to keep these videos short, so I'm going to just share a little bit about my background today, and then we'll go into the diagnosis and my experience during treatment. But my background, I was married in 2005 to the love of my life, Callie, and we have a little girl who was born in 2009. And at the time that I was diagnosed, I had just left my job with the San Antonio Spurs. I was their experience innovation manager, which basically I was their fan and employee experience manager. And it was an unbelievable opportunity for me to use some of my skills and work for a wonderful organization, actually for the second time. And I ended up leaving that organization because I had some pretty severe health issues that came up in the last year that I worked there. And nobody could figure out why. I had been to the doctor several times, and we'd done blood tests. I had been scoped both directions, and nobody could figure out what in the world was going on. It was flu-like symptoms primarily, digestive issues, and we just couldn't figure it out. But every month to 2 months, I would have these episodes, and so I left my job with the Spurs just thinking that I needed to get a lot of things in my life back in order. I was weighing about 235 pounds, which I am 5'8", and so obviously that's quite a bit over where I needed to be. So I left that job just with the thought that, hey, mentally, spiritually, physically, I need to get my life in better order. So 3 months goes by, and I start developing these spots, these little tiny dark spots on my skin. And I thought, well, okay, maybe I have a dermatology issue. So I made an appointment for a dermatologist that was going to be about 3 weeks out. And during that time, I started developing a very sore throat. And so I ended up going to my primary care doctor and saying, hey, I've got this sore throat. I've got these dots on my skin. Can you help me out? What's going on here? So he took a look, and he wasn't himself 100% sure, what was going on. And so he said, well, let's do some blood tests, and I'll give you a call here in the upcoming days, and we'll make a plan. So I did some blood tests. This was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, actually on the day before my wife and I's anniversary. It was August 5th, 2013. And at about 8 o'clock that night, my wife gets a call on her phone, and it's the doctor, and he's kind of scrambling a little bit, and he's saying, hey, why isn't your husband picking up his phone? Oh, it's in the other room. Well, he doesn't have very many platelets, and he has a ton of white blood cells, and we're concerned, and it's an emergency, and you need to get him into the hospital as soon as possible. So we ended up going to Methodist Hospital that night. Thankfully, we were able to drop our daughter off with my in-laws who lived close by, and we spent the evening in the hospital. It was really kind of strange. We walked into the emergency room, and there's all these very sickly looking people in there that looked like, man, they needed some emergency attention very quickly. Well, they prioritized getting me to the back. They knew the backstory. They knew kind of what was going on with my blood. And so about midnight that night, the doctor comes in, the emergency room doctor, and says, hey, we're not 100% sure on this yet, but we're having a hematologist look at your blood a little bit closer, and we just kind of want to prepare you that maybe there's some not so great news coming in the morning. And sure enough, I spent that night in the ICU. Didn't sleep. She didn't sleep. Callie didn't sleep either, of course. Lots of loud noises, lots of people checking on me. And at about 8 o'clock the next morning, the doctor came in, the hematologist came in and said, we're so sorry to tell you this, but you have leukemia. And we're not sure what type yet. We're going to do some further tests on that. And later on in the day, she came back and she confirmed that it was acute myeloid leukemia. And she said, we need to start your treatment right away. So that was a huge change in my life. It was on my wife and I's anniversary, August 6, 2013. We've been married for 8 years, and our lives were getting ready to change, and they were never going to be the same. And at that point in time, we just had to decide that we were gonna deal with it. We were gonna put all of our faith in God and um, try to make this as positive of an experience and as possible, and take away some things from this experience that could better ourselves. So we didn't know at that point in time what that would be, but the journey was just beginning. So now that you know a little bit about my background and the diagnosis itself, in the next video I will tackle a little bit of the treatment and kind of what the process looked like for me. I'll share some specifics with you. If you have any thoughts, comments, or would like to start sharing your experience with me and with the rest of our group that subscribe to this channel, please do leave those comments down below. And again, I do encourage you to please, if it's something that you feel comfortable with, film yourself telling your story and send it to me. Again, cancertomarathon@gmail.com. And let's build up a library of these videos, y'all, so that we can get our stories out there, our experiences out there, our learning experiences out there, what we went through, what worked, what didn't work. These are the kind of things that I think can still help us out today, and can certainly help those that are going through the fight. So I'll look forward to hearing from you, and I'll look forward to posting the next video very soon, so that you guys can hear a little bit more about my personal story. Have a great day.